Welcome back to G Fun Facts Online. Today we're journeying to a place of stark beauty, a land of sun-baked plains and dramatic rock formations, South Africa's Karoo. But what if I told you this arid expanse hides a secret, a lush, greener past? And the key to unlocking this lost world is a truly peculiar and ancient creature. Get ready to meet the velvet worm. Deep within the rugged Karoo, scientists are finding clues not just in stone, but within the genes of these enigmatic invertebrates. Velvet worms, often hailed as living fossils, are giving us a unique window into prehistoric ecosystems that thrived millions of years ago, long before the Karoo became the semi-desert we see today. So, what exactly are these velvet worms? Belonging to the phylum Onychophora, their lineage stretches back over 500 million years to the Cambrian period, predating even the dinosaurs. And remarkably, they've changed very little in that vast expanse of time. This makes them invaluable for understanding the early evolution of animal life. In appearance, they're often compared to caterpillars or slugs with legs. They have soft, unsegmented bodies covered in a velvety skin, which is actually a thin cuticle adorned with tiny sensory bumps that give them their texture and name. They move on numerous pairs of stumpy, unjointed legs, and perhaps their most famous trait is how they hunt. They eject a sticky, quick-hardening slime from oral papillae to ensnare small invertebrates like crickets and spiders. The modern Great Karoo and Little Karoo regions are defined by aridity, low rainfall, cloudless skies, and extreme temperatures. The vegetation is hardy, adapted to survive harsh conditions. It might seem an unlikely place for creatures that depend on moisture. And that's precisely why velvet worms are so important here. All known velvet worm species need dark, humid environments. They're typically found in rainforest leaf litter, under stones, in rotting wood, places where moisture is retained. They can't tolerate dry conditions. So finding velvet worms in isolated, often small pockets of habitat within the arid Karoo is profoundly significant. These locations, usually cool, moist ravines or shaded kloofs with remnant indigenous forest patches, act as refugia. Their presence strongly suggests these spots are the last vestiges of a once more widespread, wetter and forested Karoo. Adding to their ancient story, velvet worms have a classic Gondwanan distribution, meaning their ancestors lived on the supercontinent Gondwana before it broke apart. South African velvet worms are a living testament to this ancient land connection. In March 2022, a remarkable discovery sharpened this picture. A student, Rohan Barnard, found a slate-black velvet worm in an ancient forest patch in the Swartberg Mountains in the Little Karoo. Analysis confirmed it was a new species, Parapetopsis barnardi, or Rohan's velvet worm. This is the first velvet worm species ever recorded from the Little Karoo. DNA sequencing showed it diverged from its closest relative about 15.2 million years ago. This suggests that as the climate changed and aridification progressed, populations became isolated, leading to new species evolving in these shrinking forest refugia. Professor Saville Daniels of Stellenbosch University described it as utterly remarkable that such a prehistorical lineage is still around today. Further evidence comes from Opistopatus camdebua, the Kamdebou velvet worm, found in the seemingly inhospitable Valley of Desolation. Unlike its forest-dwelling relatives, this species adapted by living underground, likely taking refuge at higher altitudes as the Karoo Basin dried out. This highlights not only the past presence of more extensive moist habitats, but also the evolutionary power driven by long-term climate change. But the living velvet worms aren't the sole witnesses. The Karoo Supergroup, a vast sequence of sedimentary rocks, is world-renowned for its fossils spanning over 100 million years. Paleobotanists have found abundant fossil evidence of ancient Karoo forests. During the Permian period, the landscape was dominated by the Glossopteris flora, extinct seed ferns. Fossilized wood from trees like Didoxylon and Agathoxylon*, provides direct proof of substantial forests. Huge petrified tree trunks have even been found. Later, during the Triassic, the flora changed, with the Dichoroidium* flora becoming prominent. One significant fossil site, under Karoo, has yielded exceptionally preserved plant and insect fossils from a Middle Permian lakeside forest, teeming with mosses, liverworts, and the dominant Glossopteris trees, which recent findings suggest were actually conifers. These ancient Karoo forests were alive with sound and movement, home to ancient amphibians, and a fascinating succession of reptiles, including the mammal-like reptiles that eventually gave rise to mammals. The Karoo's fossil record is also key to studying major global events, like the end Permian mass extinction, the largest in Earth's history, which dramatically reshaped life. The combination of living fossil velvet worms and the rich fossil record makes the Karoo a unique natural laboratory. The velvet worms, confined to their shrinking, moist refugia, are living bioindicators of past climates. Their genetics help reconstruct timelines of aridification. Paired with fossil evidence, they paint a vivid picture of how landscapes respond to climatic shifts over vast geological timescales. The discovery of new species like Peripetopsis barnardi highlights the incredible, often overlooked biodiversity that can persist in these relict habitats. Each mountain peak and isolated forest patch could potentially harbor endemic species. These ancient forest fragments and their unique inhabitants are irreplaceable links to a deep past. But they are incredibly vulnerable. Climate change, habitat destruction, and other human impacts pose significant threats. As Rohan Barnard warned, there is a concern that we will lose animals and plants to extinction that we did not even know existed. So the Karoo's lost forests are slowly revealing their secrets, thanks in large part to the unassuming velvet worm. These ancient survivors, with their soft bodies and Gondwanan pedigrees, are more than just biological curiosities. They are living keys unlocking a deeper understanding of South Africa's ecological history, the profound impacts of climate change, and the enduring power of life. The story they tell, written in both velvet and stone, is a compelling reminder of the dynamic nature of Earth and the precious, often hidden, biodiversity it cradles. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, stay curious.